Hi there, it's Elizabeth Ritchie from Rambana Ritchie Immigration Attorneys. Today is April 27th. Going to talk about 2 points of pride and explain the CARES Act and how it applies to certain couples. So my first point of pride is that over the weekend I received this challenge coin from the Legal Services of North Florida for my pro bono work. It's got the scales of justice on the other side. It's quite beautiful. And that's because I have spent many hours representing foreign-born veterans pursue their naturalization. So I'm very grateful for that. I am disappointed that the Law Day celebration will not go on in person this year. But of course, that's to be understood because of the coronavirus. So we will be celebrating Law Day this year virtually, and I've accepted my coin by mail. So thank you, Legal Services, for that. Secondly, over this weekend, I received the ABA Experience magazine, which has immigration as the main issue, and my article about creative solutions for seniors from abroad living in the US and how American seniors can benefit from immigration. The article is not out online just yet. It takes a month or two to come out online, but I did send a copy around to some people who are quoted in it. I have scanned it, and it's also uploaded via Facebook on my office Facebook page. Okay, now I'm going to talk about an article that came out in the Los Angeles Times recently that's causing a lot of confusion. The article basically says that American citizens with immigrant spouses will not be able to receive stimulus checks under the CARES Act. That's not entirely true. Those who will not be able to receive checks under the CARES Act are those couples who file jointly where the alien in the couple does not have a social security number. And an EIN or tax ID number, as an ITIN or a tax ID number, as some people call it, will not count. It has to be a social security number. So if there's a couple, a man and a woman, one of whom is a US citizen, the other one does not have a social security number, that couple, if they've filed their returns jointly, will not be eligible for a check under the CARES Act. Let me go a little deeper and talk about how to get a social security number. So if someone's in the United States and they don't have a social, an alien doesn't have a social, chances are it's because that alien is not eligible for one. And in order to be eligible for a social, you have to have an employment authorization or a work authorization, EAD card. And if you don't have one and you can't get one, it's probably because you cannot file Form I-485 petition to register for permanent residence. Well, why wouldn't you be able to do that? You wouldn't be able to do that if you entered the country undocumented. So if you came in without permission, without inspection, and you're married to a US citizen, you cannot file that Form I-485, which then allows you to file a Form I-765 for work authorization. So that's why. Then people say, well, why can't you just leave and go get another one? The reason for that is if you are that alien and have more than one unlawful entry, you've come into the United States more than one time without inspection, you are barred from entering the United States again. If you were here ever for more than 180 days without lawful presence, you're barred from re-entering for 3 years. If you have been in the United States without inspection for without authorization for more than 1 year, you can't come back for 10 years. So people are scared and they're not inclined to leave because they're subject to that bar. But it's even worse because if you are subject to that bar, you can file an unlawful presence waiver, great. But you're not eligible to file an unlawful presence waiver if you have more than one entry. So what's intended to discourage illegal immigration, what's intended to discourage people from entering illegally, has actually created more illegal immigration because people don't want to leave. They know that they can't come back for 3 or 10 or more years and that they're not eligible for that waiver. So that's the problem. And by saying as part of the CARES Act that such an alien could not receive funds, or that their spouse couldn't, their American citizen spouse, is part of that disincentive to legalize. And if people think that someone in that position is just going to leave because their spouse can't get a check, I would imagine that that's pretty far-fetched. What we do need is a comprehensive reform to fix things like this. But that's the reason why you can't get a social security number, because if you can't file a Form 485, you're not going to be able to get that work authorization, which then gives you the social. And the way around that would be to file a waiver and leave unless you've been here with multiple undocumented entries, and you're not eligible for a waiver. So we've got this kind of circle of disincentive and a circle of roadblocks for people who are trying to legalize. One option for someone who finds themselves in that position where they have more than one unlawful entry might be through the U visa. U visa is for victims of crimes, certain crimes in the United States. You can see what those crimes are on the form. It's called an I-918V. It's available at uscis.gov under forms. So you'll click on forms, you go to I-918, and then you will see the B underneath. And on the top of page 2, it lists all those crimes. So the U does not take into consideration lawful entry or multiple unlawful entries for that matter. It does need to be certified by law enforcement. You'll see that on the form. If you're able to get a certification for a U, file for that benefit. It is taking over a year for you to be approved. Does not give lawful status or work authorization in the meantime. Again, another disincentive. It's also a disincentive for people who are scared to report crime because they think if they go to get that U visa and report the crime, they will be put into removal and deported. But it is a way to keep communities safe by reporting crime. So if you're going to report a crime that you've been a victim of, this may be a solution for you. After having the U approved for 1 year, for 3 years, you can convert it to the green card, lawful permanent residency, and eventually to citizenship after you have that green card for 5 years. So that's a solution and an explanation about what has transpired with the CARES Act. I hope that makes it a little bit clearer. You're welcome to send me a message here on social media, post a comment, or email me, elizabeth@randana.com. And looking forward to Law Week, although virtually being celebrated. Happy Law Week, happy Law Day. Thank you.